Every new beginning in life carries a mix of excitement and uncertainty. Today's story is about Hijiri, a young woman in Japan. The morning light fell softly on the streets of the city where Hijiri's family had just moved. For her, it was the start of a brand new chapter. This was her first job in the city, a chance to prove herself not only to others, but also to her own heart. On the surface, the task seemed simple: introduce her company's new products to potential customers. But the truth was, stepping into that role was not easy at all. The first few days were filled with hesitation. Hijiri's smile was warm, but her voice trembled when she spoke to strangers. She often rehearsed her lines in her head, yet when the moment came, her words did not always flow smoothly. She would bow politely, extend the product brochure, and hope the customer would listen. Sometimes they did, and sometimes they walked away quickly, leaving her with a quiet sting of self-doubt. These moments were not failures. They were lessons in disguise. But at the time, it was difficult for Hijiri to see that. What kept her going was not just her own determination, but also the people around her. In the midst of those early struggles, she discovered something precious: the presence of an old friend nearby. David, who had studied with her during university, now lived in the same city. For Hijiri, reconnecting with him felt like a small light in the middle of her confusion. With cautious optimism, she reached out to him. Inviting David to try the company's product was more than just a professional step. It was her way of practicing courage. Their first conversation about her new work was awkward, filled with pauses and nervous laughter. But David did not judge. He listened. He gave small, practical suggestions that helped her think differently about how to connect with people. Instead of focusing on perfect words, he reminded her to focus on sincerity, the kind of honesty that makes conversations meaningful. At home, another source of encouragement awaited her. Her husband, though quiet and not always expressive, offered support in ways that mattered most. Sometimes it was just a reassuring smile at the dinner table. Other times it was a gentle reminder that growth takes time. These small acts of kindness gave Hijiri strength to face another day, even when the city outside felt overwhelming. In these early moments, Hijiri was learning an important truth. Starting something new is rarely about instant success. It is about having the courage to try, even when you are unsure. It is about accepting that mistakes are not signs of weakness, but stepping stones that lead to improvement. And it is about recognizing the power of encouragement, whether it comes from a close friend, a supportive partner, or even from within yourself. Her story, even at the very beginning, carries a reminder for all of us. No matter how daunting a new challenge may seem, progress often begins with the smallest step forward. As days turned into weeks, Hijiri began to find her rhythm. Still, challenges remained. Every time she approached a new customer, she felt that same nervous flutter in her chest. But instead of letting those doubts control her, Hijiri reminded herself of the small successes she had already achieved. David continued to be a steady presence in her journey. He became not only one of her first customers, but also a mirror reflecting her progress back to her. Whenever Hijiri doubted herself, he would point out the growth she couldn't yet see. Encouragement has that kind of quiet power. It can turn hesitation into determination. One particular afternoon marked a turning point. Hijiri was tasked with presenting a brand new product to potential customers. The company had invested effort into this launch, and she felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. The memory of her shaky beginnings returned, but instead of shrinking back, she leaned into everything she had learned. She remembered David's advice to focus on sincerity. She remembered her husband's quiet encouragement. And most importantly, she remembered her own promise to keep trying, no matter how uncertain things felt. Hijiri realized something remarkable. She was no longer just practicing. She was truly doing the job. That day did not transform her overnight into the best salesperson in the city, but it did something even more valuable. It showed her that she was capable of growth. It proved that effort, combined with support and a willingness to learn, creates results that cannot be measured by numbers alone. The climax of Hijiri's story is not about reaching the top immediately. It is about facing the moment when fear could have stopped her and choosing instead to move forward. That choice, repeated again and again, was what gradually built her confidence and shaped her path. In the early days, Hijiri struggled with self-doubt. Every rejection seemed like a reason to stop, but instead of giving up, she treated those moments as opportunities to improve. She learned that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. Hijiri's path was not walked alone. David, her old friend, offered honest feedback and encouragement. Her husband, though quiet, gave her the reassurance that she was not alone in her struggles. Together, their presence gave Hijiri strength to face challenges that once felt overwhelming. Perhaps the most inspiring part of her journey is how these lessons extend far beyond her job. The perseverance she developed at work became resilience in other areas of her life. The encouragement she received reminded her to become a source of encouragement for others. And the authenticity she discovered in conversations shaped how she built friendships, strengthened her marriage, and interacted with her community. For anyone watching this story, Hijiri's experience offers practical guidance. If you are starting something new, whether it's a career, a project, or even a personal goal, remember these steps. Embrace small beginnings. Don't expect perfection immediately. Progress is more important than speed. Seek and accept support. Allow others to guide you, and in turn, be willing to support them. Growth is easier when shared. Stay true to yourself. Speak and act with sincerity, because authenticity connects people more deeply than any polished presentation ever could. Hijiri's journey is not unique in the sense that we all face similar struggles. What makes it inspiring is how she transformed those struggles into growth. That transformation is available to each of us if we are willing to approach life with patience, persistence, and hope. As Hijiri settled into her new role, the city no longer felt like an endless maze of unfamiliar faces. The nervous young woman who once doubted herself was slowly becoming someone who approached each day with quiet confidence. Success is not defined by applause, recognition, or sudden achievements. It is built quietly through the effort of showing up, learning from mistakes, and continuing to try even when things feel uncertain. For Hijiri, the simple act of standing in front of a customer and speaking sincerely was a victory far greater than numbers or sales. It was proof that growth had taken root. What makes this story especially inspiring is the reminder of how much encouragement matters. A kind word from David, a patient smile from her husband. These gestures may have seemed small, but they gave Hijiri the strength to keep going. In closing, Hijiri's journey is more than just the story of one young woman adapting to a new job. It is a reflection of values that are timeless and universal: determination, authenticity, and the strength we gain from those around us. Her experience teaches us that excellence is not about being the best overnight. It is about striving, step by step, to be a little better each day. Whatever challenge you are facing right now, don't measure your progress only by immediate results. Measure it by your willingness to keep trying to learn and to embrace the journey. Success is not a destination waiting at the end of the road. It is the path itself, built from every choice to move forward with courage and sincerity. That is the lesson Hijiri leaves us with, and it is a lesson worth carrying into our own lives. Strive to excel, not by racing ahead, but by walking steadily, with hope, humility, and the belief that every step counts. This short film highlights the power of resilience, the importance of human connections, and the joy of finding confidence in both work and life. A heartwarming reminder that with determination and encouragement, anyone can build a brighter future.